Henry Hathaway was born in 1840. He is Gertrude and Charles Hathaway's second child. As a boy, he was always competing with his brothers. They wanted to do everything he did, and they would follow him everywhere. It led to many fights and arguments. His father said it was because they looked up to him, much like he looked up to his sister. As their older brother, he had to set an example for them. It was his duty. After the death of his sister in 1858, he helped his parents take care of his nephew. The whole family contributed to raising him. Henry was a good influence on his brothers. He always did what he could to help around the house. His parents appreciated it. When he wasn't busy with his family, he spent time with someone special. Her name was Melinda, and Henry planned on marrying her. His life was simple, and that was how he liked it. In 1861, there was a mandatory draft for men all over the country. Henry and his father Charles were the exact ages required. It was difficult for them to accept, but there was nothing that could be done. Melinda hated that he had to go, but he promised he would come back to her. They said their farewells before they were sent away. The camp conditions were rough. Their first night there, Henry had caught something from the cot he slept in. They were training non-stop. Henry and his father grew closer in this time. They were grateful to have each other. They made friends with their colleagues too. Whenever Charles had the time, he would write letters to Gertrude. She read every single one of them. But that was all the calm before the storm. When it was finally time to fight, many died on the battlefield. They had to do what they were trained to. It was a bloodbath. Like many, Henry wasn't able to survive the fight. Charles couldn't believe his son was calm. He stayed with him all night. In the midst of mourning his son, he was captured. The family was met with yet another devastation. Henry Hathaway had passed away in 1862, and Charles was missing in action. Melinda was so heartbroken that she never showed her face again. Gertrude cried every night, hoping that her husband would someday return. But the war wasn't over yet, and Christopher was now old enough to be drafted.